What we do. So you were in the Atlanta area, correct?
I'm in the Atlanta market.
I know it's got to be hot as fish grease down there
It
regarding the
is.
sales.
It is. It is. There's a lot of stuff going on down here, in the real estate market for sure. But I don't just do business here. I do business also in Alabama and North Carolina. So I'm pretty spread. I'm pretty spread out.
No doubt those markets are a lot more forgiving on the numbers.
Indeed, especially now, Atlanta has flipped. It used to be Atlanta was a lot more forgiving maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but now things have kind of changed now.
Well, I feel like Atlanta is like kind of like a Miami. It's either all the way up here or it's like all the way down.
It,
Yeah.
it literally is turning like that, brother. You're right. Like that's good. I mean, that's good that you can see that as well, because that's exactly how I was just having that conversation with somebody. I'm like, man, like our market is becoming like it's either you're in the good space or you're in the terrible space. Like, but we're still helping folks out here, still knocking them down, sub two deals, sandwich leasing, doing sandwich lease options. We're still heavy on sandwich lease options, and of course
Cool.
doing the regular wholesaling.
That's cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on. Round up, homies. It is good to see you guys. You know,
Indeed.
I've really kind of slowed down on the live stuff, but I'm going to be picking it up come September. And Shaun is helping me with that broadcast, doing more broadcasts. He's staying on me to do that, and I want to thank Shaun for making sure you're staying on me, my friend. I really appreciate you.
100%, brother. I got you back.
So, welcome to the network tonight. I am Chris Haskins. I will be your co-pilot as we fly over the United States of America, 40,000 feet in the air, and just give you an overview of how this virtual assistant thing works. So, I've got Shaun Young on the. Why is this stupid thing doing this? Shaun Young in the platform with you tonight. Shaun Young, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, brothers. Always good to see you and hang out with you, Chris. A man of that I admire and definitely take my hat off to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You too, man. You're doing some good things, and you're around the right people. I'm sure you know your environment will determine basically the outcome of your career.
People say that all the time. It's like you're the sum of whoever you hang out with, whoever you're spending the most of your time with. If you're hanging around with 9 winners, you'll be the 10th.
You're daggone right. You're daggone right. I was privy to the opposite of that for the majority of my life.
Honestly, I was as well, brother. Trust me. I think a lot of us were. We
I'm
could have
like,
been part of that 9 bad crowd as well. So
I was number 7, no good guy, right?
exactly. I was number 5 or 6 right there with you, brother. So yeah, I hear you.
So I met Shaun. I spent a bunch of money to go to a conference, and once again, I always preach and tell you guys buy your friend. If you don't have people you can talk to about this stuff, because I know a lot of us work
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5 and we work or 2 to 11 or whatever our day gigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to buy your friends. I'm really big on that. So you spend
Yep.
money to put yourself in a room with the 4 walls, lock people in, and you get to converse, and then you go to lunch with people, and you have a drink with them, and then boom,
Mm-hmm.
next thing you know, you're talking to them off camera, and you're getting to know them, and your business is doing a lot better.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it's all about. So you're right. We met at a networking event. Like you say, we spent a lot of money to go there. And we look at that, guys and gals who are out there listening, as investing in self.
Investing.
You've got to invest in yourself. And like Chris said, if you're not able to surround yourself with the people, you gotta pay to play sometimes. You got to pay to go play
Right.
at the playground with the kids that you want to hang out with.
Yeah. At least you can do that in business. Now, a lot of times you can't do that with social networkings. However, with business, all of us spending money to go to these events, we're all going to be there. So, wow, as
Mhm.
long as you sacrifice your dollars, you can get yourself in a room.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
tonight, Shaun, you're going to talk about this crazy thing, which I had no idea what it was until, I don't know, for a few years back. I'm like, how are these dudes doing all this stuff and being on social media all day and still doing business? It was just blowing my mind. So just take it away, man. Shaun's going to teach us tonight.
So you found out the secret sauce, guys. That what Chris is talking about is the secret sauce that you hear people talking about, that keep people keep in their back pockets. They don't always share, and they tell you exactly how they're getting it done. And that secret sauce, guys, is using virtual assistants, getting out of your own way and allowing virtual assistants to help you with your business.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you guys for being here with us tonight. You guys could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here with us tonight, and it's definitely going to pay off.
Yeah.
So we can jump right on into it, Chris, whenever you're
Yeah, let's
ready,
do it,
brother.
brother. Yeah, let's do it. I had it right here. Yeah, you live.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get it started. what we're going to be talking about is how to boost your real estate business with virtual assistants without breaking the bank. Isn't that the most crucial part? Like without breaking the bank, I'm sure some of you guys, if you have heard about virtual assistants, you may have fumbled around with it, tried to hire somebody, maybe off of Upwork or who knows where you tried to find them
Fiverr.
from. Yeah,
Fiverr.
Fiverr's another popular place, and they probably didn't work out. And it's not because they're bad people or because you're a bad hirer. It's just because there's a lot of moving parts that you just don't understand, and we're going to go into that today. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to cover today, guys, is what is a virtual assistant, the benefits of using a virtual assistant, how they can help you in your real estate business, the REI World Solution Virtual Assistants, which is the company that I founded in 2020, our key features, tasks that virtual assistants can do to help you guys out, and why would you want to choose REI World Solutions over other virtual assistant companies, and our pricing and our guarantee.
Cool.
And guys, I have a free gift for you just for attending today. So make sure that you stick around to the end. It's going to be definitely worth your while. Trust me. So guys, again, what is a virtual assistant? A virtual assistant is a professional who provides administrative and operational support to real estate agents, brokers, or firms or investors. They leverage their skills and their knowledge to assist with various tasks that are related to the real estate industry. So that allows real estate professionals to focus on core activities and maximize their productivity. And guys, you'll hear this term a lot, which is it allows you to work on your business versus working in the business. So that's what that's saying right there.
I think that's big, man. I think a lot of us some people never even graduate from working on it. And it's crazy how when you get into a certain level, I'm always thinking of who, not how. Who, not how. That really changed my mindset, Shaun.
You hit it on the head, brother. The who and not how. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a book out there that's called Who, Not How. And it's or something along those lines, but it's all on that same theme, which is who and not how. So don't try to always figure out how to do it. Get out of your own way. Let someone else do it that's probably a lot better at doing it than you are.
Better than you. Do y'all know somebody's better at doing stuff than y'all are? I didn't even know that. Ron LeGrand sat me down and told me that.
Absolutely. So guys, let's keep this rolling. Find somebody who is better than you. And that is super huge and super important in today's digital age if you guys want to be competitive. Chris mentioned that earlier. He says, how are these guys out here pumping out all this content, helping all these students all across the country and still doing deals? How is this happening with the team? That's how it happens, guys. So that's what virtual assistants allow you to do. All right. So I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. If you're curious right now and you're saying, is a virtual assistant for me? Do I need one? Am I at the part in my career where a virtual assistant would be beneficial? Well, ask yourself these 3 questions. How many tasks do you have to take care of each day with your business? Next question is, how much time do you actually have available to accomplish these tasks? Do you have a 9 to 5? Are you a full-time husband, wife? Do you have a family to take care of what are you doing each day that takes up your time? And how much money is it costing you by not outsourcing these tasks? How much is it costing you guys? Like Chris and we spoke earlier, you're probably not the best person to do cold calling. You're probably not the best person to do administrative follow-ups and sending out text messages.
A lot of stuff I'm not the best person. I mean, I suck at so much stuff, which I used to think I was the only one that could do it. Now I'm like, man, shoot, I'm the worst person to be doing this.
Chris, I was just like you. I thought that I had to do every single task from the beginning to the end all by myself. And that couldn't have been the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
So guys, the benefits of using a virtual assistant are the cost effectiveness, increased productivity, and the flexibility and the scalability. So cost effectiveness, what do we mean by that? Well, if you've ever tried to go out and hire help here in America, or get an office space and hire an employee to come to that office, there are a lot of costs associated with that. You've got to worry about covering insurance. I mean, there's a lot of costs that go with that, guys. So having a virtual assistant can 100% help reduce some of that cost. You're going to have increased productivity because 2 hands are always better than one. especially if those two hands are especially if one of those hands are full-time working at something versus, you doing it when you can or when you feel like it. And the flexibility and the scalability. All right, guys. So let's talk about the three ways that virtual assistants can help you. The three main ways that virtual assistants can help you if you're out there right now as a real estate investor or a wholesaler trying to get into our industry, or you're already in our industry and you want to scale to more sales. You're doing a deal or so per month. You want to increase that to 3, 4, or 5 deals per month. Well, how does that get done? With prospecting. And that involves in actively searching for and identifying potential clients who may be interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Now, the goal, guys, is to build a pipeline of leads that can eventually convert into clients. So prospecting can be done through various methods, such as cold calling, text campaigns, ringless voicemails. It's a number of methods that can be used, guys. And managing communication and appointments. So you've got to manage communication and the appointments in real estate. You got to make sure that someone is handling the transaction. Someone knows what's the next step. Someone knows what is happening the entire time. That's one of the biggest balls that people drop along their way when I see them trying to get deals, is that they're like, man, I'm trying to work on 2 or 3 deals right now, and I don't know if I've got to call John or if I've got to call Sally. No, you got to be organized. And usually the more, as you increase that volume, you're going to need more help. There's just no way you can handle that all by yourself. And I'll tell you a story about trying to do that in just a second. So what are some of the tasks that you guys can have done for you guys? So as I mentioned earlier, they can pull lists for you guys. They can go to the county, pull county data for you, whether that's tax data, code violations. You can get probates as well. They can cold call on those, send out text blasting campaigns, documentation and record keeping, data entry and management, appointments and schedule management, research and market analysis. Guys, the list goes on and on and on. They can send out agreements for you on your behalf. They can run comps for you, get all the numbers for you, make sure that those numbers make sense before you do send out that agreement. So the list is endless on what a virtual assistant or what a virtual employee can actually do to help your business thrive. So let me tell you guys a quick little story before I jump into REI World Solutions, which is the company that I founded, which is the best virtual assistant company out here in the industry. But let me tell you guys a quick little story about why I founded this company. Guys, when I first got started in our industry, I hit the ground running. My very first deal was a $72,000 sandwich lease option.
What year was this?
2015.
Okay.
2015. And it actually took me a year to get that. So I didn't just get it out of the blue because I didn't know what I was doing. I had the paralysis analysis syndrome that everyone talks about. I thought that I just needed one more course or one more piece of information, and that would get me to, that would get me there. And guys, that wasn't it. But I didn't know any better. So I went ahead and wasted a whole year, almost wasted all my money and had to go back and get a job. I was laid off of a corporate America job. I was a sales executive, top 3% in America. I thought it was a secure cushion job. It sounds like it would be, right?
You can get fired from sales?
You can get fired, brother. You can get fired. Our company was based in Sweden. They changed the CEO in North America. He wanted to bring in his whole new sales staff, project managers.
Management. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
and he got us out of there. 750 of us were out of a job just like that overnight. I mean, literally, like no joke. People literally committed, they ended themselves,
Wow.
literally. That's how extreme it was. So I had to sit back. It was a blow to me as well. I had to sit back and say, do I want my life to be in the control of a job or someone else who could pull the rug from under me at any time, whether it's my doing or not? Because it definitely wasn't my doing. Like I said, guys, I was riding high. I was one of the top dogs in the country. So I was getting, red carpets, rolled out for me. And all that went away literally overnight.
Uh-huh.
So that's what got me into the real estate game, guys, or the real estate business. I say game because I love it. Real estate is something that I absolutely love. And I approach it as a game because I don't make it harsh or I don't make it unfun. I want to have fun with what I do. And I took that fun a little bit too seriously because I didn't establish any type of structure. I didn't have any help. So as I stated, guys, when I got started, I got that first deal, $72,000. I got a $20,000 non-refundable option fee right up front. I took five of that 20,000 and went and bought a coach, an actual coach who could actually help me get through and answer questions for me and actually help me with what I needed help with, not just a course. I didn't need another course. I was a professional course taker at that point. So I actually needed someone who could say, go do this and just give me instruction and direction, right? So I got that, found that, and within 30 days, guys, I had 11 deals under contract. Ended up closing on 7 of those deals.
Wow.
So you think I'm riding high, right? Never looking back. Well, I thought so too, because what I thought was, wow, this business is super easy. This is I should have been doing this since I graduated high school. Like what was my problem? What was I waiting on, right? You think of all these things, but what happened, guys, is I was a victim of my own success because I didn't have systems in place. I didn't have help. I didn't get another deal for 8 months, guys. Crickets for 8 months because I just didn't have a process and a way to get those deals. So virtual assistants is the way that I actually changed that and was able to get that. So let's jump right back into it.
Cool. Yeah, we think hot stuff. You get a couple deals. The real estate game is not in my opinion, it's a game of attrition. As long as you can last it out, man, you good. You can last through the ups and downs. You can make it.
100%. So let me back up here a tad bit. So guys, other than leading the BPO industry, REI World Solutions is our unique selling point is that our VAs are specified with real estate only. A lot of VAs out here, they're like a jack of all trades. They might work on hospital billing at night and do sell recipes during the morning and handle real estate in the middle of the day. No, we don't have that. Our VAs are like specified 100% real estate industry focused. So you don't have to worry about them, not being trained in our industry. So unlike a lot of freelancing platforms, we do the filtering for you. So you don't have to worry about filtering, interviewing, reading over resumes. All that stuff is literally not what you should be doing as a business owner. You should have a buffer between you and doing that. Of course, at the beginning of your career, you say, well, who's going to do that? How can I have a buffer? Well, who can do that is a qualified company, guys. So each of one of our VAs goes through a stringent screening process to get hired. All assistants must complete an interview. They have to have real estate specific training and go through a background screening before being endorsed by us to be selected to be placed with one of our clients. So guys, some of the things that are key and that are crucial is training and support. When you guys are picking a virtual assistant, I hear it all the time. I don't know how to train these guys. I don't know what am I supposed to teach them? Are they supposed to just show up each day? What do I do? How do I manage them? Well, guys, we've taken the guesswork out of that for you guys. So REI World Solutions invest in training and the development of our VAs. We provide the initial training up front on all the general tasks and the tools such as PropStream, batch leads, privy, any of the tools that are out there, all the industry related tools, CallRail, Vumber, Mojo, any of these tools, our VAs are going to come pre-trained in the usage of those tools. So this ensures again that the VAs are trained and equipped to handle all of your tasks for you. Now, what happens if your VA gets sick? What happens if they lose a family member? Life happens and they need to be out for a while. Does that mean business for you stops? Does that mean that you're supposed to find a brand new employee to come in? No, not at all. We have a backup plan or backup contingencies with REI World Solutions that we have backups that are available for you. So anytime your VA is going to be out for more than a couple of days, we'll go ahead and assign a new virtual assistant to fill that spot for your current VA until your VA returns back to work. So we want to ensure that you don't have any delays or any downtime with your productivity. And security and confidentiality. again, all of our VAs are only going to be working for you and you specifically. They don't work for, you know, Jesse from 4 to 5, and then from 8 to 9 they're with you. No, they're 100% with you, dedicated to you and your company's growth and development. So you don't have to worry about, is my data going somewhere else? Is another investor out there using my information? These are legitimate concerns and legitimate questions and things and legitimate issues that have actually come up in our industry. So we've addressed all of that for you guys.
Cool.
We've made pricing clear, concise, billing super easy, transparent, and upfront for you guys. So, Chris, let me ask you. I know that you have virtual assistants. What was the first hire that you hired for tasks when you got your virtual assistant company, or when you start to bring virtual assistants on from a company? What was the first hire for you?
Scraping leads online, looking for motivated sellers online. That was a while back.
Okay.
I didn't want to do it.
100%. And you shouldn't be doing it. It's not, as a business owner, you are doing your business a disservice by doing tasks that are, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, $11 hour tasks. You definitely got to outsource that, have someone else come in who's much better than you to do that. So when you brought in that help for that list scraping and lead generation, how did things change for you in your business?
Oh, it's really weird when you have someone working for you like that. It's an odd feeling. Like, what do I need? What do I do now? I mean, I'm used to doing this thing. It's like, darn, I don't got to do that no more. That's one of the things Ron LeGrand taught me. He's like, man, you stop worrying about what I do and look what I don't do. It's when I looked at his life and he showed me all the stuff he didn't do, it really gives you a lot of time to think about it.
Indeed. And I love the fact that you mentioned Ron LeGrand a couple of times here. He was actually my first mentor, my first indirect mentor, and then we're now in masterminds together and actually now friends. So like Chris said here, you'll definitely meet some great people along the way in our industry, and you'll network with other like-minded people. It's just by design that's how it's going to happen, because this is what we do, and you play with other folks again who are doing what you do.
Yeah.
So guys, let's talk about some tasks that we can handle for you here at REI World Solutions. Initial outreach. So REI World Solutions VAs can make calls or send text messages to prospects to initiate that contact, introduce the company or investor, and inquire about real estate needs. Now, this could involve reaching out to leads obtained through marketing campaigns such as cold calling, text blasting, referrals, or online inquiries. They can also do follow-up communication. So you guys, if you've never heard this phrase, lock this into your mind now. The money is in the follow-up. The money is in the database. You'll hear these terms mentioned all the time, and some folks might not clearly understand what that means. Well, what that means is the money is literally in the database, and your database being your CRM, your customer relation management tool, or whatever method that you're using to track your conversations, to track where you are with each lead. And it's highly important, and it's huge. Just because someone doesn't want to sell you their property today, or just because they don't want to do business with you today, doesn't mean they're not going to want to do it in 3 months, 6 months. We just did a deal 3 weeks at the beginning of this month that we've been working on for a year and a half. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't, meaning number wise, it was an $8,000 deal, but we helped this seller out they were in a position where they needed help. So again, if we didn't follow up or have a follow-up system in place, someone else would have come along like Chris and closed that deal. And not that we wouldn't want Chris to close it, but we definitely want to make sure that you're looking out for yourself. You're investing your time, money, and energy into this. So you want to make sure that you're getting out of it what you put into it. And the only way to do that is to have a strong follow-up game. Our VAs can help you out with that. So they can also help with qualifying leads, gauging prospects for interest. What's the situation? Why do they want to sell? What's the timeline? What's the budget? All that good stuff can be figured out. We can also come up with a lead scoring process where we develop an actual lead scoring system to let you know what the interest is, the motivation, and the likelihood of a conversion. So by assessing prospects' responses and engagement, they can provide the client with valuable insights to focus their efforts and most promising leads. focus their efforts on the most promising leads. Again, and providing detailed information and follow-up, guys. So that's lead research. So our VAs can conduct research on leads to gather additional information, such as the current property status, previous transactions, demographic details, all that good stuff, guys. Lead profiling. Our VAs can also profile the leads for you. Come up with a comprehensive profile or summary of each lead, including the preference, desired property features, location preferences, budget range, and all those type of great little features there. Now, these profiles can be used by the client to deliver a more targeted and relevant communication when they are following up with that VA. So they're not shooting from the hip. They're not just reaching out saying, hey, you spoke with Sally. I kind of got an idea of what happened. No, you're coming on with good information because your VA was able to extract that information from that call first. So guys, here's our team. This is some of our team members here. We conduct monthly meetings where everyone gets on a call. This is me here. This is some of our team members, just to make sure that we're all staying abreast to the latest and greatest, that we're getting the training that we all need. Our VAs have accent coaching as well. So we always have ongoing training to ensure that your VA, again, is not just someone who we dump off to you and say, have at it, but that we're actually a part of your process to help with your development of your VA. I want you to think of REI World Solutions as an HR department between you and your virtual assistant. Even though we do assign you that virtual assistant, we still stay on board with you as a team member. So here's some of our satisfied customers, guys. We've been helping customers since 2020 now. We've only had, and let me knock on wood, but we've only had 2 clients that have had to leave us, and that's because they switched industries. So if they would have stayed in, they were very successful and just went to a different industry. But had they not, they still be with us to this day. So we have a great retention rate, which is a huge testament to the actual job that we do for our clients when we're hired.
Let me reintroduce you. We're here with Shaun Young, guys, going over how to use virtual assistants to run your business. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe and share while we're still live here. And this broadcast is sponsored by PropStream over there, Chris Property Data. I have to always forget to announce that stuff. Chris Property Data is where we get all our data from to find all these different types of leads. That's one of our sponsors. But Shaun, where are these people, by the way? Are they in North Dakota? I mean, where are they? The majority of the people that you hire?
Great question, Chris. Great question. Our VAs we are headquartered here in Atlanta, Georgia. Our VAs are based in the Philippines. And they 100% work remotely. They all work from home. We did have a call center location, but we found that was totally unnecessary. It was just an overhead expense that was unnecessary. So we put that money back into the development of our VAs. So absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, they seem to have the best English just around the world. The way they communicate, is that kind of what you're seeing?
Absolutely. I see that 100%. Most of our VAs sound like they're from Southern California in my book, in my perspective. They're pretty good. Not to mention AT&T, Google, they're huge.
They all use them, yeah.
They're all using companies. They're all in the Philippines using virtual assistants, guys, and it's for reasons, because these are quality folks. These people come, again, like our VAs here. They're highly educated. One of the qualifications that they have a college degree. They've got years of cold calling experience, guys. So they haven't been doing this. They didn't just start this yesterday or last month. Yeah, they have to have a minimum of at least 2 to 3 years of cold calling experience to even be considered to work with our company.
Sweet.
And we go through, again, a pretty stringent screening process. So again, guys, we covered that. Years of cold calling, strong English speaking ability, all huge factors. All huge factors. So guys, I want you to meet Hannah. Hannah is my executive assistant. Now, Hannah has been with me now for about 4 years. She started out as a cold caller, but she quickly demonstrated that her talents and her skill set was much greater than just being a cold caller. So she was promoted to be a transaction coordinator within my real estate organization and continued to excel until I said, hey, you know what? I can't risk losing this lady. I've got to tie her to the company or to my company's 100%. So she is now my virtual assistant. She helps me. She's my right hand gal, so to speak. She helps me run all of my organizations, and I couldn't do it without her. Honestly, guys, I definitely couldn't do it without her. And again, here she is, 4-year degree, graduate, dedicated, on it every single day. And that's what you need, someone who can grow with you in your organization. You don't want to keep going through hires. You don't want to hire an employee that's going to be with you for a short time because their ambition is to go somewhere else. No, you want to find someone who actually wants to grow with you in your organization. And that's what we look for when we're screening screening the employees to assign over to you guys. So pricing and guarantee, let's get into that. So guys, how much does a virtual assistant cost? Well, if you guys have tried to hire any help here in America, you know that it can be pretty costly. For a good qualified employee, you're going to be paying between 35 to 75 US dollars. That's on the low end for someone who's quality, versus a $7 to $15 baseline, which is usually what you're going to be paying for virtual assistants who are based in India, Philippines, Pakistan, Brazil, wherever, all over the country. Those are usually the rates that you're going to see, somewhere in between $7 to $15. Now, one big thing, guys, one thing that I want to point out here is that, again, with REI World Solutions, we are extremely hyper focused on ensuring that all of our VAs have years of experience. They all have a bachelor's degree, and they're highly skilled. We put them through an assessment test, personality test. We really run them through the ringer because we want them to not continue. We want them to walk away and say, oh, this wasn't what I was looking for. So if they make it through our process, we know for sure that we feel certain that when we match you guys or match you to a qualified professional virtual assistant, that we're matching to somebody who can actually get the job done for you, not just someone who's a warm body on the other side of the world making phone calls for you. So our pricing here at REI World Solutions, guys, is $9 per hour. We charge our clients $9 per hour with a minimum of 20 hours per week. And the reason why that minimum is in place, again, is because they're dedicated to you and your company solely. Without the 20 hours in place minimum, they've got to eat. They've got to make a living, right? So I want to point that out. That's a number one reason why most VAs don't work out for folks who hire people, is because they're hiring someone for $5 or $6, and they don't realize that VA is usually working for an agency that's probably taken 5 of those $6 or 4 of those $6. So it leaves that virtual assistant highly unmotivated to go above and beyond for you and your organization, especially if you're using them as like a freelance kind of perspective where you're just using them here and there, or sometimes you're not going to get the results that you need. So that's why we figured that out. We've nailed it down, and we provide you with a dedicated virtual assistant. So, Chris, let me ask you something. Have you found that hiring of the person who you have now, are they 100% full time with you, or do you utilize them from time to time?
I have several. I mean, shoot, man, they've been with me for a minute, but I mean, I've been through so many, I mean,
Absolutely.
they've been with, I like to boil it down to this tasks per person. Like, I don't want to give them all this stuff. So we have multiple ones, just do a few little things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's indeed, that's how I found it as well. So guys, the reason why you want to go and hire somebody is because you got to get out of your own way. There's just not enough time in the day for you to make the amount of calls that need to be made, to do the amount of follow-up that needs to be done, and to take the amount of abuse that your VAs are going to take on your behalf. They absorb a lot for you. So my hat's off to them. You've got to have a lot of respect for what they do and what they're doing for you on your behalf.
That's
because
true.
You can easily get discouraged in our business by just making phone calls. All right, guys. So let's bring this all together. If you guys roll with a virtual assistant, guys, what you need to again consider is someone who's going to be dedicated and focused to you and your team only. If you don't come on with REI World Solutions and you guys go out there and find another virtual assistant, make sure that you're taking your time to screen that virtual assistant, interview them, ask them the tough questions now so that you don't have to have the awkward conversations later on. Have them up front. Make sure that there's someone who can actually fit in with your culture. So we make this process extremely easy for you guys. You've got two choices. You guys can take the long route, keep trying to figure things out on your own with little results, keep wasting a bunch of time, money, worrying, destroying your confidence, even risking your financial livelihood and health, and the opportunity to change not only your life, but your family's lives. Or number two, you can hire a professionally trained, monitored, and managed virtual assistant from REI World Solutions who's dedicated to the success and the growth of your business. Guys, I say number two is going to be your best option. And again, guys, even if you don't go with us, you've got to get some help. You've got to get someone on your team who can help you out. So I want you to make sure that you take some action after we get off of this call today to consider how that would help, how that would look for you and your organization, having another person who could actually take care of tasks that you can't take care of. And for everyone being on this call today, you're going to receive a 50% discount off of the one-time setup fee by using the discount code FREEDOM. So if you guys head on over to reiworldsolutions.com, enter in the discount code FREEDOM within the next 48 hours, you're going to get 50% off of that one-time setup fee.
Cool, man. Thank you, Shaun.
100%. And that lets me know that I've seen you here, or that you saw me here with Chris today. So make sure you enter in that code, get your discount, folks. And as promised, just for being on the webinar today, guys, I want you guys to pull out your phones. Pull out your phones. Go ahead and scan that code on the screen or visit the website nationwiderealestatemastery.com/opt-in. And guys, take advantage of getting a nationwide list of investor-friendly title companies and closing attorneys, a free ebook on wholesaling, free assignable real estate agreements, free scripts, and overcoming objections, guys. All huge stuff that in the past, I've sold these in different packages. So again, just for attending today's call, guys, it's 100% yours.
Cool.
So what's the next step, guys? The next step is super simple. Again, head on over to reiworldsolutions.com, pay for a VA on our website, and find out how we can add value to your business like right now. We're going to help you map out all the key processes and in your open positions and help you select the perfect VA for your needs. I want you to consider it like a match.com. We sit down, make sure that we match the needs of your business to one of our professionally trained VAs. So that's it, guys. It's that simple. You sit back, relax, while we keep track of your new virtual assistant and ensure that they're delivering on all the key benchmarks and all the metrics that we've set for you together. Super simple, guys.
Cool. So the VAs are going to help run your stuff. I'm telling you, I know. I just remember back in the day when I saw all these dudes doing all these deals. I'm like, how in the hell are they doing? It's like you don't even have any idea. They got 10 people working for them. And sometimes they might have just one person, just a whole staff of people just call it all day. It's really remarkable. It's incredible.
It is. I've got two cold callers. I've got an acquisitions manager, dispositions, transaction coordinator, and my assistant. That's just for my real estate business. I've got a whole nother team of folks to help me with the VA business as well. Wow. And again, guys, without virtual assistants, I can't be a one-man show. You cannot do it by yourself. Do not try to do it by yourself. That was my biggest mistake at the beginning. And if I could go back and talk to myself at the beginning of my career, that would be one thing I would tell myself is, Shaun, you're not the best at doing everything. You need some help. Even if you think you're the best, get some help. You can do a whole lot more, again, with 4 hands than you can with 2 hands.
A lot of times I'm thinking about why me? Like, why do I get to do this stuff? And a lot of times I believe the most successful people, Shaun, they're not the smartest guys. They're just not. I mean, I can say for myself, I'm like, I'm not. All the time, I'm like, I'm not that special. I just have this massive team around me that makes me look like gold. You know, it's like, but I'm not that good.
Makes you look good. People always ask me, like, man, you must be crushing it. You're killing it. You're doing, they're like, how do you do all this stuff? It's like every day I pop up, you're on someone's podcast or on, I'm like, brother, it's a team. I've got a team. There is no way I could even book myself on shows, podcasts. There's no way I could handle it all. So
That's true.
go out there, get you guys a team, start closing deals today. I mean, that's it. You need a team.
So Shaun gave us a link. The link is in the video description, y'all. And use the coupon code FREEDOM to get 50% off the setup fee. Is it the setup fee you got, Shaun?
Yep, one-time setup fee.
Cool. So we get all that stuff worked out. And if they don't know what they don't know, Shaun, do you ask questions to see how you can deploy the VA? Some people might not know how to actually implement them.
Super great question, and I probably zoomed right past that part, but that's a great question. When you actually pay for your service, you're going to have, the first thing that happens is you're going to have a strategy session. And that strategy session is going to be to determine what do you actually need, what's going on with your business, you know, what kind of tasks you need to have accomplished. All that will be talked about during that strategy session. That is what allows us to actually go and match the VA to your needs. So after that strategy session, it's usually a 24 to 40 hour turnaround before your virtual assistant is ready for what's called a handoff. That handoff happens between the virtual assistant that you select, that we select for you, our training manager, as well as the VA trainer. So you'll have access to all those three people on that onboarding call, where everyone walks you through the entire process. How do you make your payments each week? Who do you communicate with should you have any issues? All that's covered for you. It's a very, very seamless process, guys. And my apologies if I didn't cover that thoroughly.
Yeah, it's all good. I know you mentioned it, but I just want to make sure I understand, because I know I paid a ton of money for coaching. We all have. And then you sit down, like, all right, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. I don't even know, you know. All right. Well, that's it for VAs, y'all. I mean, you know, if not with Shaun has a phenomenal system. Looks like he's onboarding people and specifically designed to work with real estate investors. I think that's an awesome service, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. I thank you for allowing me to share this with your audience.
Yeah. Okay, Roundup homies. Listen, take a second to subscribe, like the content, share with other people that are trying to figure this thing out. And I'll see you August 21st. Don't forget, Virginia Beach. I'm having a live meetup. If you want to come hang out with me and my original guest girlfriend just got COVID. So I've got the millionaire real estate investor himself, Joe Alt. They wrote a book about him with the New York Times bestseller. I'll see you August 21st. If you want more information about that, that's in the video description as well. Take care, Roundup family. Peace.
Peace.